help them. Oh, award-winning book publisher personal service. I'll just give them a call. Oh, there's no phone number.
Red flag! Red flag! Red flag!
Who are you?
Hi, I'm Rose Newland from AIA Publishing, and I'm here to tell you 7 red flag signs of rip-off writers' services and publishing businesses. Back to me in the studio. Thanks, me. I'm here in the studio with
Talia Newland. I'm the managing editor of AIA Publishing. And I know that when you come to look for a publishing service, maybe a book designer, paperback interior designer, or someone to do all of that for you, the number of businesses out there offering these services can be completely overwhelming.
There's so many.
There's so many. And unfortunately, they don't all deliver what they say they do.
So we've made this video so that you'll know some red flags to look out for when choosing a publishing service. Red flag number 1. No addresses or phone number.
Yeah, you want to know where this business is situated. Now, I mean, I understand people not necessarily wanting to put their phone number if they don't have a local component to their business and they really want you to communicate via email. I kind of understand that, but there should be an address. I mean, you should know at least what country.
At least a country.
And you need some way to contact them.
Yeah.
And the thing is that when there's a phone number, that's just so much more trustworthy because you know you can just phone the person and talk to them if you've got a problem.
I mean, I would never do that because I'm a millennial, but for you, yes. I need to see that they're across different social media places.
Yeah, see, I would never think to actually contact someone through social media. I would
it's not so
email or
much.
phone.
It's not so much the contacting them. It's just the checking out that they're a legit business, that you know they've got some things going on apart from just the website.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can see what they post, so you get a sort of an idea for.
Yeah, it gives you a little bit of an idea of them.
Yeah, but
it's a generational thing there.
Yeah, but most importantly, an address.
Yeah, at least a country. I like to know where they are. Now, red flag number 2. No or incomplete about section.
Yeah, the about section is really important. You want to know who you're going to be dealing with. And I always think that if you are, for instance, looking for a publishing business, someone to publish your book, is it being run by a business person, you know, someone with a history in business and no history in publishing or writing, that kind of thing? Because if their credentials are all business, then they're in it for the money, right?
And they might not know they're not going to understand exactly where you're coming from as an author trying to publish your first book. Whereas if it's someone who has a background in writing and publishing and has written their own books even.
Then
that's...
And it's like, if their aim is just to make money, are they concerned about quality? You know, it's like, do they have any investment in the industry and in, you know, writing standards and all? Like, do they care? That's what you want to know from looking at their about section, and you want to know who's on the team, what kind of qualifications those people have. For instance, I went to an editing website once, right? And all the editors didn't have anything about editing. They were just authors. Right? Now, I employ some authors, but they do but they do manuscript appraisals. They don't do the editing. You know, I have editors to do the editing. So, you know, things like that on the about section. And I think it also needs to say like what they're about. You know?
And a photo's always nice. Not necessary, but it's nice.
And look for affiliations.
What are affiliations? That's a big word.
It means who is this business affiliated with? In other words, are they a member of an organisation that you can trust, for instance? You know, that kind of thing helps, because some of those organisations, or you know, most of what I'm talking about in terms of affiliation, they don't just like let anybody in.
They have quality
standards.
There's
Some kind of standard control. So in the
like Alliance of Independent Authors, for instance, would be one of those.
Absolutely.
And who else?
In the indie publishing world, to be a partner member of the Alliance of Independent Authors is really necessary, I think, because they check out the businesses for integrity, basically. I mean, they have a whole list of things that they check businesses out for.
Red flag number 3, if they have flat rate prices for editing. All books are different lengths, aren't they?
Yeah.
So a flat rate really isn't going to work.
No. I mean, I went to a website once and there was like a flat price and you could just like buy now, and it was $1,500 to have your book edited. I was like, what kind of editing? And
yes, my book is 65,100 million pages long. Can I please get it for that price?
Listen, mine's only 3 pages, and I also have to pay $1,500 to have it edited. So if you're looking for editorial services, there should not be a flat rate, because it's not that kind of thing. You don't charge that way, because every book is different. Every book requires different levels of editing. The closest with editing you can get is a per word price, but really with editing you want to be looking for someone who, they might give a guideline, a per word guideline, but
they need to quote, basically. They need to quote for the editing.
Yeah. It needs to be a system where you give the book to the editor, they look at it, tell you what kind of editing it needs, and they give you a quote for it, because then you know you're not paying more than what you need to be paying. Because if your book only needs a proofread because you've written it so well and you know your grammar so well, then you're only looking at $300 American.
There you go.
If it's a short book-ish.
So to all the people of my generation out there that are like, oh no, I have to submit a quote request, that's too much effort, I just want to know how much it's going to cost. They're probably more trustworthy because they're doing a quote request system. So don't let it put you off.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, because maybe some people just go, okay, I'll just click that button and know that my editing's taken care of. But no, this is such a big red flag.
Like bigger than this one?
Oh, it's huge.
Like I didn't make a big enough flag, did I?
I mean, I would never have thought that anyone would do that until I actually saw it on a website, and I just went, like buy now.
All right.
Editing. Wow.
So, number 4, grandiose sales claims with nothing to back them up.
Yeah, I think this is common in terms of book marketing. Book marketing is a difficult area for most authors, and in the end, there's just stuff you have to do yourself. It's very tempting to just go to a book marketer and read their website and it all, grandiose claims. It sounds marvellous. It sounds like you're going to give your book to them and it's going to be a bestseller. Now, they might not say it quite in that way, but just beware of, like, the bigger the claim, the more likely
you'll be disappointed.
The more likely they are not to deliver. And a book marketing service who is selective about which books they promote is much more likely to be of value, I think. It means that they're concerned about their reputation and they value their standing in the industry. For instance, if someone says, we're going to promote your book on all our social media accounts and we've got this and that and there's no numbers.
Yeah, step 1, go check out their social medias and see how many numbers they've actually got and also how engaged their following is. Yeah,
but also, I mean, if you're selling a marketing package, that should be written there. There should be numbers, right?
Yeah.
So it should actually say how many Twitter followers, how many Facebook followers, how many Instagram followers, etc., you've actually got. So then you can evaluate what that actually means. And you shouldn't be paying a lot of money for small follower. But you also need to understand that huge numbers don't mean necessarily that their followers are engaged. They might completely ignore. So again, go to their social media accounts, have a look, see how they advertise the books.
Yeah, see the kind of stuff that they're posting. If it's just like, buy this book, buy this book, buy this book, it's not necessarily going to work.
Yeah, you could pay a lot of money because there's hundreds of thousands of followers, but if all they're doing is putting out spam, it's just going to go past the followers. It's just like, I mean, maybe they'll pick up a few things, but
scroll past.
Then also on that, it's like there is this thing that a modest following could actually be of more value than huge numbers of unengaged followers.
It's like if you're going to do it yourself as an author, you want to build up some really genuine fans rather than just blasting out to a bunch of people who are not vaguely interested.
That's right, exactly.
And, you know, an itemised list of exactly what you're getting for your money in the marketing package is always good.
Yeah.
So,
oh, absolutely.
Number 5. No clear indication of whether you are paying for the services or not. Now, this is mainly to do with publishing services because some publishers don't charge you, but some do.
Yeah, there are basically 3 different kinds of publishers. There's your legacy publishers or your mainstream publishers where the author does not pay to have their book published. Then there's the hybrid publishers like AIA Publishing who are selective, so they won't just publish anyone, but the author funds the publishing. And then there's the self-publishing service providers or assisted self-publishing services where it's just somebody is going to help you to do the self-publishing. So if you go to a website and it looks like a legacy publisher's website and it doesn't say anywhere, or it's only in very small writing somewhere, that the author funds the publication, that is a huge red flag. So you won't necessarily know when you just go to this publisher's website which kind of publisher they are, right? Because a legacy publisher doesn't necessarily say, because the assumption is that you don't pay. There are lists that people have made of vanity presses. So if you Google names of vanity presses, you might come up with someone who's made a list of the big ones that you should be avoiding.
If it's a hybrid publisher or a self-publisher, they will usually say upfront their costs and all of that.
Yeah.
So that's fine. And then basically if it doesn't appear that you have to pay, then just double check whether it's a traditional mainstream publisher or maybe just do a quick Google search, put in the business name, put in Vanity Press, see if anything comes up.
Yeah.
Red flag number 6, lack of details about what you get for your money. You want to have an itemised list of exactly what is included and what is not included in your package.
Yeah, this is absolutely true. It's called transparency. I know that some authors, they will get published by, say, an assisted self-publishing business, and they will then find out that it seemed cheap to start with, but then they had to have all these extras on top to get what they wanted, and the extras can really add up. And also be really careful. They might have a list of things that sound really good, but should be included anyway. For instance, I saw one website where the authors were being asked to pay for research into the best category to have for your book on Amazon and so forth.
That should be included.
It is included.
It's necessary to publish the book.
Well, no, it's not, because you can just guess. Like the research part. The research part is of value in terms of marketing. But I saw this listed as something extra that authors had to pay for.
Yeah.
And there was this whole list of stuff that was like a marketing package. And it's like, well, it's everything that we do anyway. I wouldn't ask authors to pay extra for that.
Yeah, they should be included.
They should be, yeah, exactly. So, okay.
Red flag number 7. This is a slightly more intangible one, but if they don't have a clear personality that comes through on their website, who are you really dealing with? It harks back a little bit to the About Us page, but you know, you want to know what they're about. You want to make sure they have some values, some integrity. You want to make sure they care about their clients, they care about the things that they're working with.
Yeah.
You want to make sure they're going to care about you and your book.
Yeah.
Testimonials are really important to have. If there's a lot of testimonials of happy clients, happy authors, then you know that, you know, they're doing something right by their clients, and that's, you know,
and if
like reviews.
If the testimonials sound a little bit wooden, might be a bit suspicious.
Website.
Yeah, and maybe it's also just a kind of a warning to not buy too quick.
Yeah, do your research. There is so many people out there offering services and advice and help.
Yeah. So you've got to check to see what
your
the
research.
General price is, to know that you're not paying more than what you need to be paying.
And, you know, find some people that you like with a cool YouTube channel and cute cats and an adorable set and like cute props. And then, you know, just like follow their stuff and you know, maybe we can hang out.
Oh, that's a millennial approach, isn't it?
So there you go. That was 7 red flag signs of rip-off writers' services and publishing businesses. We hope that's helped you wade through the various options out there on the internet. Good luck, do your research, and if you liked what you heard in this video, you know what to do.
Yeah, make sure lots of people get this kind of education because we don't want anyone to be ripped off.
No.
A good one.
Bye!
What a great